Yeah, I saw so many truths, but force can change shape, ma'am, but in some issues that cannot. Yeah, it's false. Yeah, Aditya is saying it's false. So force in any situation, force can't change. Is that your opinion, Aditya? Force, how much ever force we apply. Okay, sorry. So Aditya was saying it's false. Why do you think so, Aditya? So how much ever force you apply, you can't change the shape of any object. Is it like that? Suppose you are making chapati. So you will be pouring water into a dough and you will be molding it into a spherical shape, right? So you can change the shape. You can. In some cases, you can't. But force can change, okay? So let's see. So it's a true statement. Now, Now, forces which can act only when there is a contact between objects. It is called? Yeah, contact force. Now, the next one. The force resulting due to the action of muscles is known as? So, everyone is saying muscular. Is there any other answer? Let's see. Muscular. Okay. Yeah, it's muscular force. Now, okay, now let's see. Friction always acts on all the moving objects. True or false? Okay, answer through the chat box. I want to see everyone's answer. Answer through the chat box. True. Okay, Pranati, tell me. True. So let's check the answer. It is true. So friction acts on all moving objects. There will be some friction. Okay. Now, the last question. Force of gravity is an attractive force. Is it true or false? True. Okay, what about others? I'm saying the question is force of gravity is an attractive force. That is gravitational. Okay. Yeah, gravitational force of gravity. So let me explain it to you properly. So let's see the answer and go to that. So it is true. In the last class, yeah, I told you that gravitational force and gravity, there is a mistake I made in that. So I wanted to correct it today. So every object attracts every other object. In the universe, whatever objects we see, they all have an attractive force. They all attract other objects. But the force may be very weak. So we are not experiencing, we are not actually seeing that effects of that force. That force is called gravitational force. And force of gravitation due to earth is called gravity. Okay. So can you change this in your notebook? Okay. Okay, every object attracts every other object. That force is called gravitational force. And force of gravitation due to earth is called gravity. So whenever you are thinking about the gravitational force of earth, you should say it is the force of gravity. Okay? Yeah, Satish. Okay, then let's go to today's. Yeah. Okay, now you can see a table, right? There are 5 boxes on the table, and let us put so many iron fillings in that box, iron cubes or iron something made of iron, so that the boxes are filled and they are filled to the brim. Okay, now you can see the now I will arrange the boxes in such a way that one box is kept on top of other. Like that I'll arrange. So let's see. Now can you see any effect on the force? Look at the table top. Okay, don't say the answer. Let me show you the other one. So here I have arranged the boxes on one on the top of other. So now in this figure, can you see something which is not here? The bend. Yeah, Sirishma is saying the table is bent. What about others? The table is bent. Yeah, there is a small little curve there. Tabletop, right? So in the first, we haven't changed the weight of the boxes. The weight is the same. So the force applying on the table is the same in both cases, but the impact of force is different, right? So today we will see what is happening in the two cases. So now, suppose you want to cut some vegetables. So you have a knife, you will take the knife and which side you will prefer to use to cut the knife, the cutting edge or the blunt edge? Sharp edge. Yeah, Pranati is saying sharp. So why would you choose the sharp side? To cut easily. Okay, then by the end of this chapter we will answer this question in a different way. Okay, now the school bags. Compare your school bag with your mother's handbags. So you can say that in the school bag the straps are a little broader, right? So see here, the straps are a little bigger. But what about your mother's handbags? Their straps are very thin compared to the school bags, right? So why is such a difference? Why are the school bags provided with broad straps and not thin straps? Okay, so we'll be carrying more weight. Okay, we'll see all this in today's class. Now I want to keep a picture on a frame on the wall. So I want to insert a nail there on the wall. So in the first case I took the nail and I am using a hammer and trying to pierce it through the wall. In the second case I turned the side of the nail. So then I tried to hammer the nail. So in which case do you think we can successfully insert the nail? So first case, yeah, I'm seeing so many. Okay, Pranati is saying if we stick reversely the photo will fall. Okay, Pranati, to stick the photo on the wall we need to stick the nail first, right? So will the nail be stuck there if I try to do that in the second case? Like if we, yeah, tell me. Yeah, okay. So now look at the area we are piercing through. See the nail, we have the nail here. This is the area of contact of nail with the wall, and here this is the area of contact. Now why do you think the nail was pierced into the wall in the first case? Now consider the area and tell me. Okay, I didn't hear. Can you type, people? Because I couldn't hear some. Yeah. Now look at the nail. I have shown the nail also there. Look at this sides of the nail. Here and here. These are the sides we use there. In the first case this side, and in the second case this side. So look at the area where force is applied in both cases. Look at the place where the nail and the wall met. So because it has a sharp end, ma'am, because sharp edge of the nail Yeah, because it is okay. What about the area of those edges? In the first, will the area be smaller in the first case? Was the area smaller? And in the second case, was the area larger? Yeah, so can we say that the impact depended on the impact of the force? I gave the same pressure, same force there. So impact of the force was different there. Can we say that? Because it depends on the area. So there, do you think the area over the force is applied, that is the pointed end of the nail, plays a role in piercing the wall? Yeah, I'm getting so many S's. Yeah. So the force acting on a unit area is called pressure. Please write this down. The force acting on a unit area. So what do you mean by force acting on a unit area? We can write this as like this. Pressure is equal to force divided by area. Yeah. So in all these cases, the pressure was different. In the first case, the tabletop, the pressure was less because the pressure was less, right? The impact of the force was very less. That's why we couldn't see that curve in the first, in the bend in the first table. What about the second one? The pressure was more. The same force was acting, but the pressure changed there. Now, we know that unit of force is Newton. Do you remember what I have said in the first class? Yeah, the force of, the unit of force is Newton. Now, let's take the unit of area to be meter square. So, what will be the area of pressure? So, the unit of force is Newton. Unit of area is meter square. Then, what will be the area? What will be the unit of pressure? Yeah, correct. Who said that, Pranati? So it will be Newton per meter square. Okay. We can even call it as Pascal. We gave the name Pascal to that in remembrance of a French scientist, Blaise Pascal. So he was not only a scientist, he was a mathematician also. He experimented on how atmospheric pressure could be established, could be estimated in terms of weight and all. So he did so much work in this area, and okay, sorry. Now can you hear me? Yeah. So he worked in the area of atmospheric pressure, and that's why we have given the unit of pressure to be Pascal. So we will denote it as PA. P, capital P, small a, or you will write it as Newton per meter square, whichever we are comfortable. Okay, whichever the question is having. So let's see. So did you note this down? Can Hema read this for me, the first one? Okay, then Madhav, can you read the last one, the unit of pressure, this one? Okay, then Hema, can you read? Hemant. Okay, Hema, read. Please read. Okay, Pavitra, you can read. Newton per meter square. You read it as Newton per meter square. Even though we write it as capital N per meter square, we read it as Newton per meter square. Okay? Newton per meter square. And this is read as Pascal. So let's move on to the next. So this is Blaise Pascal, the scientist which I have been telling you. This is Blaise Pascal. In his remembrance, we gave the unit of pressure to be Pascal. Now, let's do some mathematical work. So can you find the values of these fractions? Now we have 3 by 2 here. So quickly give the answers. 3 by 2. I'll give the, okay, 0.5. Type. I can't hear you properly. Okay, the first one is 1.5. Okay, what about the second one? 3 by 3. Okay, children, can you type so that I can hear everyone's answer? So the second one is 1. What about 3 by 4? 3 by 4? What is the answer? Yeah, 0.75. 3 by 5. Yeah, I'm getting 0.75. 3 by 4. Who is answering me? You are so fast, Srinivas. 0.69. Okay, then 3 by 6. This can be written as 1 by 2. 1 by 2 is, yeah, so the 0.5. Yeah, try to come up fast, children. Okay, what about 3 by 7? I'm getting so many answers in the chat box also. You are all saying it correct only. Okay, 3 by 7. Calculate. Yeah, 0.42. What about 3 by 8? Yeah, 0.42. Sudhir, Madhav. Yeah, I know you are slow just because you the typing take times. Okay, tell me. Okay, 0.375. Okay, what about 3 by 9? That is 1 by 3. Yeah, 0.333. So we have got the answers. Now let's look at the denominators. In the first one, the denominator was 2. Okay, second one it was 3. Third one it was 4. So denominators are increasing. The numerator is kept fixed. 3 is the numerator and the denominators are increasing. You can see that here. Yeah. So what happens when the denominator is increasing? When the denominator was 2, you got 1.5. When the denominator was 3, you got 1. When it was 4, that is 3 by 4, you got it to be 0.75. So can you see that? When the denominator was 5, the answer turned out to be 0.69. So when it was 6, it became 0.5. So can you see? The first one was 1.5, second one was 1.75, 0.69. Then it is increasing or decreasing the values. Yeah, so when the denominator is increasing, the value is decreasing. Yeah, so we know that pressure is equal to force per area, right? Yeah, force per unit area. So what happens when the area is increasing? What happens to pressure? Okay, answer through the chat box. I want to see everyone's answer in this question. Okay, reduce. What is reduced, children? Pressure? Oh, Madhav is saying pressure will increase. Madhav? Answer, children. Answer through the chat box. Value decreased. Okay, Madhav, can you answer? Can you tell me why you think it is increasing? So when area is increased, you are thinking that pressure is increasing. Pressure will increase. So can you tell me why you think like that? So what about others? Madhav is telling, okay, now Madhav is still, yeah, no. Pranati is telling the value is decreasing. Why do you think it is decreasing, Pranati? Yeah, okay. So okay. Madhav, do you okay, Madhav has value is decreasing. Yeah, he has changed. So I think it was a mistake from his part. So whenever you have whenever the denominator is increasing in a fraction, the value will be increasing. Okay, and this we will apply in every area. So it is when you have a fraction, if the denominator is increasing, then the value of the fraction will be decreasing when you represent it as in a decimal form. Okay, so here we have, when the area is increasing, the pressure will be decreasing. So the smaller the area, the larger the pressure on surface of the same force. So that's what it happened in the first case. In the first tabletop, we arranged five boxes filled with iron, right? So in that case, the 5 boxes were touching the table. So the area of contact was bigger in that case. In the second case, what happened? One table is touching the tabletop. All others are on the top of the other boxes. Other box on top of the boxes. So the area of contact will be very small. So then the pressure will be large. That's why the impact was more. We could see clearly the bending of the table. So then the second, the area of pointed end of the nail is much smaller than that of its head. You clearly saw that. For a nail, the nail head is like this, and this, there is a pointed portion here, and this is the table head. So you have a nail like this, and here the area is very small. So when you try to pierce the wall using this area, what happens? The contact is very small. The area of contact between the wall and the nail is very small. So then the pressure will be very large. So that's why even if you give the same pressure in both cases, like when you used this side to pierce through the nail and this side to pierce through the nail, only this, in this case we could see that it pierced inside, it went inside. That's because the pressure was larger in this area. And why is that happened? That happened because the area of contact was very less at the pointed tip. Okay. Now can you tell me why the school bags are provided with broad straps and not thin straps? Okay, let me ask Sudhir. Can you answer me? Sudhir? Sudhir? Okay, anybody can answer. Okay, type. Tell me. Tell me. Why the school bags are provided with broad straps and not thin straps? Yeah, it has larger surface. Okay, Sirishma also. Yeah, I'm getting chat also. To bear the pressure. Yes, Krishna Kumar. So, when the straps are bigger, the contact area on the shoulder is, on the shoulder will be larger. So, the pressure exerted by the weight of the pressure exerted will be less when the area is larger. We saw that, right? So, that's why we are always having our school bags. Yeah, our school bags will be always having larger straps. Now, for cutting fruits and vegetables, we use the sharp edges. Why? The sharp edges, the area, in the sharp edges, the area will be very thin. When you take the knife, you know that blunt side will be little thicker than the side which is sharper, right? So that's because when you try to cut through the sharper edge, the pressure, the area of contact between the vegetable and the knife is very small. So the pressure exerted will be more. So you can easily cut the vegetables. Okay. Yeah, will be thin and easy to cut. Yeah, Krishna, you are correct. Now, let's do a problem. Calculate the pressure exerted when 10 Newton force is applied on an iron block of 0.2 meter square area. So, okay, yeah. So, when you are given a problem, you have to think about what you are given. So, yeah, you also know the calculation. You should also know the calculation. Okay, tell me what is the given things here. What all things are given? Yeah, force is given. So, force is equal to 10 Newton. That is given. You have to write this in your notebook also. I will check your notebooks today. So, force is given to be 10 Newton. Then what else we have given? There is an iron block and its area. Yeah, area of the iron block. Area equal to yeah 0.2 meters square. Now what should we find out? We have to calculate pressure, right? So pressure is unknown here. Pressure will give a question mark. So these are the things we are given. Now we know the formula to find out pressure. What is pressure? Newton. No, not the unit, children. What is pressure? The formula, I am asking about the formula. Not Pascal and all. Pascal is the unit, children. Okay, someone was saying, I couldn't clearly hear that, but it is, yeah, correct. Force per unit area is called pressure. So this is the formula. So that is, we will be substituting force and area here. So what will it be? 10 Newton by 0.2 meter square. So what is the answer? Yeah. Now calculate 10 Newton by 0.2 meter square. What will it be? Yeah, 50, correct. 50. Tell me the unit also. Whenever you are writing something in physics, you should make it correct that you should always use the units. So here it is 50. Yeah, Sai, I think it's Hema. I am not sure. So it is 50. Pascal. Yeah, 50 Pascal, or you can write it as 50 Newton per meter square, or even if this is also correct. If you write 50 Pascal also, it is correct. Okay. So I hope you all completed this in your notebook. Yeah, 50 Newtons per meter square. Yeah, correct. Now let's do, this is case 2. So now we have to find out the pressure when the force becomes 20 Newton. That is here, this is case 2, and here the force becomes 20 Newton. The force is increased from 10 Newton. So here we are given that force is equal to, okay, okay, can you hear me clearly? Yeah, tell me what is the given things here. Yeah, force is 20 Newton. What about area? Area was the same earlier. Area is kept the same. Yeah, so area is equal to 0.2 meter square. Now pressure we need to calculate. So pressure is unknown here. So yeah, but when you are doing something, you need to write the formulas. So force is equal to, tell me, force is equal to, no, tell me the formula, Pranadi. Yeah, force per area. Sorry. Pressure, sorry. Pressure is equal, yeah, I'll rub it off. So sorry that I did a mistake there. So pressure is equal to force per area. Now this is equal to, substitute the values. So you'll get, yeah, how much will it be? 100 what? Yeah, so everyone got, yeah, 100 Pascal. Yeah, Sirishma is saying 100 Pascal. Yeah, Sai Pandiyala Sai is also saying 100. Yeah, correct. Yeah. Okay, then let's take a look at the next case. So now we have the force decreased. What happens to pressure when force is decreased? So this is case 3, right? Case 3. So now what are the things given? Force is equal to, yeah, 5 Newton. Then area is equal to the same area. So 0.2 meters square. Yeah, 0.2 meters square. Now pressure is still unknown. We need to find out pressure. So what is the formula? Yeah, force by area. Now substitute values. So that is, okay, I didn't hear the answer. 25, is it 25? Yeah, 25 Newton per meter square or 25, yeah, 25 Pascal. So both are correct. Yeah, I'm getting answers through the chat also. Yeah, pressure will decrease. So yeah, so now let's see what all we found. So in the first case, the force was 10 Newton and the area was 0.2 meter square. So we got the force, we got the pressure to be 50 Newton per meter square. Now then the force was increased. Force was increased to 20 Newton and area was kept the same. When force increased, you got the pressure to be 100 Newton. So that is force, when force is increased, the pressure is also increasing, right? So force is increased, pressure is increasing. Yeah. Now when force is decreased, that is in the third case. So when the force was decreased to 5 Newton, you got the answer 25 Newton per meter square. Yeah, so then when the force is decreased, the pressure is, yeah, pressure is decreasing. So you can find that whenever force is increasing, pressure is also increasing. Whenever force is decreasing, pressure is also decreasing. Now when, what happens when area is increased? When area is increased, yeah, when area increases, pressure decreases, right? So when area increases, pressure decreases. So what will happen if area is increased? Sorry, area is decreased. Yeah, pressure will, yeah. So these, the quantities which are like this, we will call it as proportional, inversely proportional. So here we will say pressure and area are inversely proportional. Inversely proportional. Yeah. This is an additional information, you might not need this. So don't worry about all this. So that is when two quantities are said to be inversely proportional, when if one is increasing, the other is at that time, at that other will be decreasing. So if pressure is increasing, area will be decreasing. If area is increasing, pressure will be, yeah, decrease. So now we have seen that the force acting on a unit area is called pressure. Yeah. So Nandu, can you read the second point? Okay. Read. Yeah, that is Aditya. Unit of pressure is Newton per meter square. Okay, next one also. Okay, tell me. Someone was asking something. Continue. Continue, Aditya. Blaise Pascal. Okay. So you haven't seen the picture, right? Now, can you tell me why are we using sharpened edge of a needle for sewing? So when you try to mend your clothes. Yeah, Pranadi was saying, Aditya was saying something. Okay, tell me others. Like I didn't get answers from the others. Can you write or chat to the chat? I couldn't get answers from others. So they are saying that because of the sharp edge, that's why we are using the sharp edge of the needle. So the area will be smaller. That's their reasoning. So what about others? Do you also feel that it is the only? That's why we are using the sharp edge. Okay, Shivapriya is also saying that, yes. Okay. Okay, then what if I can make a hole in the other side, in the sharp edge? So will you use it in the other side also? The other side is bigger. Okay, this side is bigger. The side you are talking about. Like there is a hole, so that's why you put the thread through it. So if I make a hole here, will you use this side to pierce through your cloth? Why you won't use this side? Area is decreasing. Yes, if you try to use this side, there won't be enough pressure to pierce through. So you will always use this side. Okay. Then tell me why porters place a round piece of cloth on their heads. Have you seen this in railway station somewhere? Yeah, Krishna Kumar. Yeah. To balance the luggage. Oh, who said that? To balance? Srinivas, can you tell me? To balance the luggage. So if there was no cloth, the things will fall down. That is your reasoning. Is that so, Srinivas? Okay. So that's why he is using a cloth. So when you use a cloth there, the area of contact is larger. Okay, the area of contact between the luggage and your head becomes larger. So your head is like round. So there is little area of contact. The area of contact is very less when you have a luggage like this. Yeah. So when you put a cloth like this, the area of contact between the luggage and the cloth, so area increases. So that means the pressure decreases. So the weight he feels will be decreased. So that's why they are using a round piece of cloth on their head. Okay, it's not for balancing. It is mainly, especially for reducing the weight, reducing the pressure, reducing the impact of the force. Okay. Yeah. Now this is your homework. Can you note it down? Very easy. You can even find it down now also. Note it down. How much pressure would be exerted by a block exerting 20 Newton of force on 0.5 meter square area? So the options are 10 Newton per meter square, 20 Newton per meter square, 30 Newton per meter square and 40 Newton per meter square. Yeah, for the previous answer, Krishna Kumar was saying to keep the luggage. Okay, that might also be a reason, but the main thing is that the pressure is decreased. Okay. Okay. So did you note this down problem? You got answers also. Yeah. Type through the chat box so that everyone else also will answer. Then we can leave that. Okay, I got Pranati's answer. What about others? Yeah, 40 Pascal. Option D. Yeah. Give me some 15 answers I should see now. I'm only getting 5 or 6. Krishna Kumar, yeah. I'll count some. Sumadhav. Yeah. I think I didn't say the answer of Joshvita, Rajarajeshwari, Padma, Srinivas. Yeah. Yes, Srinivas. Okay, Shiva Prasad. Yes. 40 Pascal. Yeah. So, since you have finished this, what you can do for homework is to find out where we are using pressure to our advantage. Like we will be using, we saw that in the case of a school bag, the broader straps are used so that the pressure will be less on the child. So similarly, pressure can be increased or decreased to our advantage. We will be using that in our daily life. So find out one situation where pressure will be increased for our advantage, and find out another situation where pressure will be decreased for our advantage. So we will discuss that tomorrow. Okay. So bye bye children. Take care. Yeah, bye bye. See you tomorrow children. So finish notes and I'll send you a Google form. You have to send it through that and I'll check. Okay. Bye bye. Yeah, if you have any doubt you can stay back and ask.